I'm Josh Garza, drummer.
Brandon Curtis, I play bass and drums and sing. I'm Benjamin Curtis, and I play guitar and sing.
Can you explain to me what the idea, the starting point for In the Round was? How you guys got to this point?
It kind of started out as a kind of DIY way to do a show. You know, just setting up all our amps around us and everything. And now we just kind of have the ability to do it right.
And do you find that you guys create a little bit different music as opposed to a normal stage setup? Does it affect what you guys do?
I think having eye contact and just having us all kind of pointed in the same direction is interesting. It allows for an immediacy of contact, like a communication that kind of happens. It's a different way of communicating.
And how about in terms of the audience? Do you find that it creates a little bit different, obviously it creates a different dynamic. Does that feed into anything for you guys while you're playing?
That is the main thing we've heard from people, is that they can see other people's reactions. So people are kind of interacting with each other to eye contact.
The relative reference points of a rock show seem to change with this setup, and that's sort of the point, inadvertently, kind of avoid the usual stage, audience, drummer in the back.
If you guys had the opportunity, is this in an ideal world, would you tour like this all the time, or is it just nice to have a different feel from tour to tour?
I don't know about forever. It's like a nice thing to do right now.
This is just the beginning stages of crazy ideas that we'll try to do.
So for all you guys, what other artists or types of art do you guys sort of draw inspiration from?
But when we write music and play music, we're thinking about pictures and images and sounds and moods and all those things. I think it seems like what they have in common is artists that really transform the space. Art that you can really walk into, spend time in, is what kind of the song seems like.
And what made you want to be a musician?
It's just something that I enjoy doing. Sitting in front of a piano, making noise. It's pretty. It's a nice way to spend time. I think it was rewarding for me to be responsible for making a sound. It was pleasant.
Yeah, I had 3 older brothers, and they just played music all the time. I think they kind of instilled it into me.
Do you guys feel that there is any type of goal or any type of thing that you're trying to achieve with your music?
It's less try to achieve with music and just try to kind of really live life, embracing it, using what's around us to inspire us and influence us, and keep being able to do that.
And is the writing process, do you guys do it together? From start to finish in terms of music, lyrics, is this a cooperative thing, or does one of you guys sort of bring something to the table and you all work on it? How's the dynamic in terms of that works?
So Brandon writes the words,
yeah.
And then, come up with chords and different things, and in the room we take it apart and put it back together with the 3 of us. That's usually how it goes. It seems like also through repetition. We'll play something over and over and over again, hours and hours and hours, and certain things kind of crystallize out of certain movements or changes or song idea. What eventually becomes song ideas, patterns, and kind of come out of repetition.
Have you found that drugs work as inspiration, or do they hurt what you're doing? Is there any relationship at all that's positive or negative with the music?
Can't really, crazy with that stuff and be healthy. mean, you got to be healthy in a good state of mind, feeling good to make